Super Health podcast.
PNI Living,
My name is Dr. Samuel Santokh,
and I am Amanda Banayot.
and welcome to this first episode of this podcast. We are going to talk about health style and living. So, in this episode, we are going to talk about what is PNI living.
Okay.
I am Samuel Santokh. I'm a medical doctor, and I study clinical psychoneuroimmunology and molecular and cellular immunology also. So, and you, Amanda?
And I am Amanda Banayot, and I studied for 3 years to be a health coach with the UIM in Spain. And I also did a course in immunonutrition. And yes, I am very excited to share everything that I have learned throughout these years with Samuel and Jose, and who will be on one of our podcasts in the future, maybe. And
I think that he's going to talk in Norwegian.
Norwegian very well, yes. And yeah, we're very excited to share everything that we want to share in the next upcoming episodes of the podcast.
Yes, UIM is the Universal Institute of Advanced Medicine. I am
Yes.
the academic director, and Amanda is one of our coach and one of the teachers also in this institute. So,
Yes.
where we can find us?
Okay. You can find us on Instagram on one of the three accounts. Our Spanish account is yuma.yogamedicinal. And then we have Dr. Samuel Santokh's page. And you have the page that we have created for America or Canada, so that UIM Medicinal Yoga. And if you have any information, if you would like to book consultations with Samuel or Jose, you can go at info@yogamedicinal.com. Or if you want to learn about the different courses they do them in Spanish, but maybe one day in English too.
Okay, yeah, that's the idea to do it in
Yes.
English. And also, if you want a consultation with Amanda, you can write us in that mail also. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yes.
I think that I'm saying words in Norwegian also. So I don't know.
Maybe.
So maybe
Maybe.
it's okay. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay. First, we are going to talk. What is PNI living?
Okay.
What can you tell me about this, Amanda?
Okay. Well, I think that PNI studies the relationship and the communication of the brain, like the mind and our behavior, and the systems that maintain the homeostasis of our body, the nervous system, the central and the autonomous, and also the immune system and the endocrine system. And
Okay,
if
and that connection of the nervous system and endocrinology system with the immune system, right?
Yes,
So
exactly.
I'm going to show you this study. It's one of
Okay.
the first study published in Nature Review. It talk about the clinical psychoneuroimmunology. PNI is psychoneuroimmunology.
Yes.
The main intention of the psychoneuroimmunology is bringing back the art of medicine that has been lost in several years from now.
Okay.
So the main studies that talk about in psychoneuroimmunology in the scientific way is that everything that you think and feel, there are molecular particles that travel through your blood and make you feel that way. And those particles and proteins are made from the neurological systems, the endocrinology system, and the immune system. And that is talking about this study.
And how they communicate between
And
each other. They send the signals, and yes, it
yeah,
affects more than we think. Yeah.
yeah. Because when we talk about some of this, we think that, for example, the neurological systems make neurotransmitters and they make different biochemistry substances. So that substances create the hormones, different hormones in our body, like cortisol and adrenaline, for example.
Right.
That hormones communicate with the immune systems, and the immune system creates immune transmitters. There is a new concept that we talk in PNI, that those immune transmitters affect the way you move, the way you think, and the way you feel.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
And the way you behave also, no?
yeah, yeah.
You behave. Okay. All right. And I have a question because something that is interesting for me is that we also study how migraine can be, for example, a headache can be caused by the malfunction of the digestive system, for example.
Yeah,
If you can.
yeah, yeah. Because for example, in PNI Living, we propose that with the study on the scientific view of psychoneuroimmunology, we can create a better, a better and healthy lifestyle.
Okay.
So the fundamental proposition about this is like you have to talk. We need to talk about nutritional immunology, we need
Okay.
to talk about medicinal yoga, and we need to talk about orthomolecular medicine also. So in this way, one of the very important things that we talk about nutritional immunology is the connection of the intestinal tube with the brain and the microbiota with the brain. So, for example, when you eat something that is pro-inflammatory, the, that nutrition is going to affect the bacteria and the fungus and
Mucus?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The different mucus in our body, and then when we eat that pro-inflammatory substances, the microbiota in our systems change, and that changes in our microbiota is going to affect the brain and the immune system in that way, affecting the behavior and the way we thought and the way we feel.
Yes. I know. And also how, for example, overweight can be caused, or it can be a consequence of hormonal imbalances that are also caused by the microbiome being dysregulated. No, so it's
Yeah,
like a domino effect. So if one
yeah.
thing starts going wrong, then everything
Everything
goes
goes wrong. When one thing goes wrong, everything goes wrong. That is
wrong.
the main intention, because when we talk about the psychological aspect, the neurologic aspect, and the immunologic aspect, that is like an ecosystem.
Yes.
And where is something wrong with the context that affect that ecosystem, is going to affect everything in your body. It's going to affect not only your neurological system or your immune system, it's going to affect your metabolic system, your cardiovascular system, and all your body.
Yes. Exactly. So that's why it's good, for example, when we have like a problem, when you go to the doctor says, oh, just take this pill, and tries to solve only that problem, but they don't go to a deeper level of understanding what could have caused that problem, what imbalances you may have. And that's something that we study in with psychoneuroimmunology, that we are an ecosystem and everything affects or leads to a certain illness or disease.
Yeah, and one important thing talking about this that you are talking and you are saying is that when you have several imbalance in one of the systems, you're that's going to have a repercussion in your body and make you feel like bad, or make you feel sad, or make you feel, or having a stomach ache or something like that, one symptoms or another symptom. So it's depending of what is happening in your body. So
Exactly. Yes. So that's why, for example, doing the proposed medicinal yoga helps you. For example, if you're feeling, say that you have a stomach ache, normally it's a feeling related symptom. So the medicinal yoga could help you find the cause of what it is that you're unhappy about, for example. And that way you can ease the symptoms that you're having in your stomach, for example.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When we talk about medicinal yoga, one of the impacts that we think that we do is about our stress system, the stress system,
The stress.
the regulation of the cortisol, the regulation of noradrenaline, the regulation of adrenaline. One of the studies that I want to show you is this one that talk about the conceptualization of psychoneuroimmunology. We talk here that we uh, we we can have in our context like acute stress. What is acute stress? For example, when a volcano is erupting, or a lion is there, or a big
Yes.
dog is hunting us. That it
Yes.
causes you like a bit of stress in our body, and that
Yes.
is natural because we need to activate those hormones to survive.
Yes.
So, but when we have in our context different stresses
Yes.
than have in is having like a long prolongation of that response that is called
Yes.
chronic stress, that's
Yes.
going to affect you not only your brain, it's going to affect your immune system. That is
Yeah.
that history talk about. We have chronic stress, that is a negative influence in our brain, but there is acute stress that is a positive influence. But when
Yeah.
we
Because
have this negative influence, this is going to affect the immune system.
yeah. What I was going to say is that when you have it has a positive effect because it helps you. You run away from the lion, or you fight the lion if you feel brave enough, and you get like a reward system in your brain because you accomplished either running away or you accomplished fighting it. But when you have a stress that is does not end in time because the lion situation ends, but the chronic stress does not end, and you're like continuously stressed because you don't like your job, because you don't like the what you're studying, you don't like I don't know, your anybody in your family that's
Your partner, your if you're
your
married,
partner.
you don't want to be married.
Exactly. That's exactly it. And you're not finding a solution because you could be in a partnership and you find a solution, okay, but sometimes people mostly don't find a solution, and that is a stressor also. So
Yeah, there's different problems that maintain in the time and the time, and
yeah.
always people ask us how many time, how many minutes, or how many days that chronic stress can be in our body.
Yeah.
A lot of people is surprised that the negative effects of stress is going to appear only with 36 hours of that
Yeah.
stress.
Okay.
So if you
So if
have
you
something
have
to solve, you need to solve it now.
in maximum 36 hours,
Yeah.
or you change your attitude towards the problem also, no?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One of the things that we this science called psychoneuroimmunology is because everything is going to affect the immune system,
Okay.
and the immune system is the one who is going to show the problem, is the one who's going to show the sickness, is the one who's going to show what is happening in our body, because the immune system our is our defense, is the one that protects us from the environment. So when you have like a disease, you have an allergy, you have a headache, you have obesity, you have hypertension, that is the immune system that is provoking that. And that symptoms are provoked because there is like a low grade inflammation. It is an inflammation that is prolonging the time because the stress is prolonging in the time. Those problems, the problem with your job, the problem with your life, the problem with your sedentary life because the person don't move.
Doesn't
We can going with this.
Yes. Your mortgage that you have to pay, or the
The
car
mortgage,
insurance.
the mortgage.
Yes. Yes.
In North America, there is a big problem, the mortgage, because everybody have mortgage in.
Everybody has a mortgage. Everybody has a car insurance. Everybody has a car to pay. Everybody has everything to pay. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One of the things that's happening that okay, you can have a stress, and you can, for example, do a meditation with medicinal yoga. But that is not the only thing that we propose in PNI Living. We propose that when there is a problem in your nervous system and the immune system,
Yeah.
there is lacking of some nutrition in your body. So we have like two boosts, the neurological system and the immune system, and that's we bring about the nutrition, the importance of nutrition, and the importance of nutritional immunology,
Yes.
the nutrition that is going to study the relationship with the immune system.
Yeah. So, or the, like you said earlier, like the orthomolecular nutrition, which is like cellular nutrition, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
natural supplementation with, well, things that we could be lacking, like vitamins or different things that, well, we could do a whole podcast about supplementation.
That's the
And
idea.
how-
We're going to talk about our different episodes, about different things, about nutritional immunology, about PNI, about science, all about science also. For
yeah.
example, there is this study published in Frontiers in Nutrition
Yeah.
in 2016. Correct me if I say it right.
2016, which is almost 10 years ago. So you guys,
Also almost it's a long time.
yeah,
It looks like brand new, but it's not brand new in investigation. You
it's
see,
not.
for example, in this image, the whole system interactions. That is the proposal of PNI. The whole system interaction is going to affect. For example, you have the nutrition, and when we talk about nutrition, we need to talk about the immune system. Why we need to talk about the immune system? Because everything that you eat comes from the environment, and the immune system need to protect us
From the
for everything
environment.
that from the
Yeah.
environment. And the immune,
Yeah.
for example, if you eat an apple, the immune system, that apple is information. The immune system need to do like a scanner
Yes.
to the apple, and you can and they say yes, it's a friendly food. For example,
Yeah.
for well, when you eat a donut, for
It's not friendly.
that is not friendly for the immune system, and the immune system
No.
is going to say inflammation.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
when we talk about nutrition, we talk about metabolic system also.
Okay.
And when we talk about
Metabolism.
nutrition, we talk about microbiome, or
The micro.
the different bacteria that are in our system in relationship with the immune system and in
Yes.
relationship with the metabolism. That's the first thing that Amanda was talking about when we begin this podcast.
Yeah. So also I mean, we could do a whole episode about the microbiome, but the microbiome is basically like the bacteria that is on in our skin, which our skin is also a big extension of our body. Our mucous system also has a lot of our microbiome, our bacterias, and our gut is also one of the biggest areas where we have our microbiome. And the importance of keeping it happy with the appropriate nutrition, not the donuts, not the hot dogs, not the
Not the
burgers,
pizza,
not the pizzas.
not the hamburger.
Yes, exactly.
We in the nutrition, to keep it simple, and we say we need to talk about the whole food. And we
Yes,
are not
whole.
talking about the supermarket. We are talking
Not,
about when you go to when you go to the market, you can your brain can identify a nutrition and a
yeah,
nutrient element. For example,
yes,
an egg, broccoli, a carrot, an
yes,
onion,
yes.
and tomato.
Exactly. So the more elaborate the food is, the less nutritious it is for you.
Yes, because there is processed food that is going to have something very specific that is advanced glycolyzed factors that is
Yeah.
not very good for your blood and your cells.
Yes, exactly. And your microbiome and your gut and everything.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yes.
The question that we ask you in the psychoneuroimmunology is which pathologies are affected which pathologies appears when the immune system have a problem, like the low grade inflammation. The studies are very contundent because they talk about that almost 90% of the pathologies that the people going going to the hospital and going to the doctor is
Yes.
a problem of the immune system.
Yeah.
And that is the thing that talk this study published in neuropharmacology
Yes.
in 2012. That is a very almost 11 years.
Yes. Yes.
This is chronic inflammation, and we talk about the different diseases that are influencing the in that chronic inflammation.
Yeah.
For instance,
No, you tell. I was going to add, but finish the information that we have on there. How like obesity, diets.
yeah, one of the things that we are going to talk about in different episodes in this podcast is the effect of this chronic inflammation in psychological stress, in the leaky gut that is very important for the intestinal and immune system health, and diabetes, cancer, depression, anxiety, cardiovascular disease, obesity, and the influence of the diet in that chronic inflammation,
Yeah,
because
in all
we
these.
yeah, because we have the classification of pro-inflammatory nutrition or anti-inflammatory nutrition, and we need to learn and to identify the difference between those foods.
Yes. I wanted to add that, for example, like celiac disease, the arthritis, autoimmune thyroiditis, all of these things are a cause of a pro-inflammatory diet too. And we seldom hear that from a doctor. Your doctor rarely says, "Oh, it's because maybe what you're eating is not good for you." But that's not the case. They usually just say, "Oh, take this pill. Oh, we're going to amputate your thyroid. Oh, we're going to do." Yeah,
Also, the people don't identify that is the stress that is causing all this.
yeah,
Because when you say, "Oh no, you are stressed," the people say, "Me, I'm not stressed.
no,
I have mortgage. I don't
yes,
like my partner. I don't like
yes,
my job. I don't like my boss, but I'm not
yes.
stressed.
I'm okay, but I'm okay.
But I'm okay."
Yes,
So we can do like again in this moment, like to identify the different pathologies.
yes.
And I brought you here like a list of
Okay,
pathologies that is caused from chronic inflammation. We can read it. So we
okay.
have like a lot of pathologies.
Yes.
Name and Amanda, all the pathologies that cause from this alteration in the immune system.
All right, so obesity, we have already talked about that. Then we have like arterial hypertension, which a lot of people think that, oh, it's because I inherited from my grandmother. That's why I have arterial hypertension. uh, so,
Um,
what were we going to
um,
say?
One of the things that we study in our program of courses is, for example, in health coaching 2, we study all the things about pathologic cardiovascular diseases.
Yes,
And
and
one of
it's
the things that
very
we learned that is a bit inflammation in those persons.
yes, yes, and how everything. I also what I liked about all my formation with you guys is how almost everything can be reversed except for amputation. So once you get your once you get your thyroid amputated, it's I'm sorry, you're not gonna get it back. But or a lot of people get their bile duct also amputated, and then they have difficulty digesting their foods, and they don't understand why. Which is we go back to the importance of anti-inflammatory diets and the orthomolecular supplements, for example.
Yeah, yeah, and that is very important because one of the things that is happening in the today medicine is that the people think that the problem that they have that is having like 15 years, 20 years, 30 years long, is going to
Yes.
resolve in 1 month with a
Yeah.
pill. And that
Yes.
is a lie,
Yeah, I know.
because you need to do a lot of changes in your life to have a better health.
Yes. So one of the things that Jose always says is that getting better is not how was it in he says
Getting better is not comfortable.
no,
Oh
it's
no, it's
he,
comfortable, but in
it's not
Spanish it's most beautiful.
so it's not what I would say is like one might think that it's not convenient or it's not easy, but it's comfortable. Like
Yeah,
healing at the end is comfortable. You feel comfortable. You
yeah,
feel
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, but
exactly.
one of the things that we teach to our students or our patients is that with a minimum change, you can have a more easy health. But
Yes. Or
you
like with one thing that you change, you can achieve like results. Like
results, yeah, yeah. But
yeah,
you need like to think about which change you want to do,
yeah.
and the easiest one, not the
The
hardest
first
one.
yeah, I know. Yes. You're not going to be a triathlete if you have never done exercise before in your life. You're not going to run the Ironman, but you can start with, okay, I'm going to stop eating bread and I'm going to see how I feel with that. And then I'm also going to take walks to work instead of taking my car to drive 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And those are
That is very
small.
common. That is very common in whole America. That you need to buy bread and there is 10 minutes walk. You take the car and you say, "Well,
Yes,
you
you
take
take
a
your
car.
car.
You can walk 10 minutes to the bakery." So
Exactly. Exactly.
it's easier.
Yeah.
So before continue, if you are seeing us in YouTube, remember to subscribe, to do make the like and follow us in our
Yes.
account.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. This is very important. Okay,
Yes.
and it's because
And share also. If you
share
want to
also.
share.
Okay, share,
Yes.
share. That is very important. Share, share. Like we are sharing this. Let's
Yeah.
come back with our list.
Yes, come
Be-
back to our terrible list.
Yeah, several list. Okay, because
Okay, so then, like you were talking about before, we have depression and anxiety. And
we're going to talk in another episode only about anxiety, so you
yes,
can be with us in that episode.
yes. And the migraine and dementia, which are all, well, schizophrenia, all are like neurological diseases or pathologies. Then you have alterosclerosis.
Atherosclerosis.
Yes,
That is when the blood cells and the arteries are blood and cause you a stroke.
for example, yes. We also learned that in our cardiovascular seminars during
Yeah.
our formation and health coach.
Yeah.
And then, do
Um,
you want to continue?
yes, we can talk about like that chronic inflammation, because like to reframing all this, we're talking about the chronic inflammation or the low grade inflammation.
Yes.
Why we talk about low grade inflammation? Because a lot of people are having these diseases, but when you do like blood tests, it is hard to see that in a blood test.
Yeah.
So that because the metabolism is slow, so we talk about low grade inflammation because of this. Or you can also see in literature like silent inflammation, because
Yeah.
anybody see it and anybody hear it.
No, nobody hears it, nobody sees it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you.
It's true. It's
We could talk about Alzheimer and Parkinson, that are neurodegenerative diseases. You can continue
also
with the list.
okay. So, Parkinson, you said microcardial
Mm,
infarction,
yeah,
metabolic syndrome, which also has to do with your diet and how your metabolism is working.
yeah.
Chronic pain, chronic fatigue syndrome, which is well, fibromyalgia also. Chronic fatigue and chronic pain is usually one of the main causes why a patient comes to our consultations because they have no
No
energy. They can't.
energy. Yeah, that is what is happening. And the doctor do a blood test, and they say you are okay. In the blood
Yes,
there is nothing, and they say,
yes,
but I'm tired. The patient say, and you can have chronic fatigue. And one of the things that is happening with the chronic fatigue, there is a problem in the microbiome, for example,
yeah,
and there is a problem in the immune system, like we are talking about in this moment.
yeah. So because the energy is going elsewhere, so it doesn't have energy for you to function normally in your day to day.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's very interesting. Okay, so then we go to type 2 diabetes,
yeah.
fatty liver, peripheral inflammations. It
Yeah, the
can be,
goats, pseudo goats.
yeah.
We can talk about all of this, but I think that is okay
Yes, I think
for
it's enough.
now.
I
It's
mean,
enough. We, are,
yeah,
we don't want to scare our audience.
yes, I know.
So that is the proposal that we are talking about PNI living, and we need to learn, and we want to teach about clinic psychoneuroimmunology. We want to the people know and learn about nutritional immunology or immune nutrition. You
Yes,
can see it in that way, and we want that people know medicinal yoga for to
as
to
a
lower
tool,
the
no?
stress,
Yes, as
like
a tool.
tools.
Yes, a tool. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think it's a great tool.
yeah, yeah. And you have any questions? Like when you want to talk
Uh,
about?
I mean, I think we have talked about mostly everything, but one thing that strikes me is how can, for example, we were talking about how the doctors give you a pill. How can the pill, if you could give us information, how can that pill, for example, imagine that they give you a pill for cholesterol the rest of your life? Uh,
That is a common sentence in the medical environment.
Yes, exactly. So how does the pill or this medicine affect you in general?
Yeah. For example, when you have like high cholesterol and you go to the doctor, one of the things they're going to give you is a pill, is a medicine,
Yeah.
right? But one of the things that the people don't know that is that those pills have several effects if you take it for a long time, like
Yes.
because they're going to affect not only, for example, that far that pharmaceutical product is
Yeah.
made to get to your body to one point. For to get to that to for is instead of to get to that point faster, is have like a lot of chemicals. So in those chemicals, it's going to affect the microbiome, it's going to affect the immune system, it's going to affect the liver, it's going to affect the brain in order to have the effect. So
Yes.
that's why when you buy a drug and you see the the
The
little
side
paper that
effect.
is inside, you
Yeah.
see like adverse effects of this because
Yeah.
this is causing a lot of bad things. And one of the things that happened in North America is the I think that the third cause of death is the
Misuse.
taking the misuse of the pharmaceutical products.
Yeah.
I think
Yes, I
that
know.
last year was third, but I think that this year is going to be second. So
Yes.
it's
I
alarming.
think
This.
Yes, it's alarming also that they do tests of water, the running water, and they see that there's ibuprofen, like microparticles of ibuprofen in our water because everybody is consuming ibuprofen, everybody is secreting ibuprofen. So it's in our water and it's a microparticle and you can't get rid of it. So everybody's taking ibuprofen.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Not only ibuprofen, also the antidepressants. For example,
Yes.
in New York, all the water is contaminated with antidepressants. So,
Yeah. Maybe that's why they're happy.
okay, okay. I
Yes.
think that there is our time to finish.
Yes.
So
Okay.
we hope to hear from you. If you are seeing us in YouTube, make a comment. Ask your question in our mail or in our Instagram or in YouTube, so we can help you with your problem.
Yes. Or if you would like to hear us talk about a certain topic, please let us know, and that way we can integrate that and yeah, and better serve.
Yeah. We have like a phrase to
Yes.
close this podcast.
Yes.
That
Do you want to
no
say
no
the
no
phrase? Okay.
say
So our phrase or our motto for our podcast is "You first, and then the rest."
yes,
So the
you first and
important,
then the rest, because
yes,
if there is no you, there is no other. So
yes,
that's why I love that our institute in English is called You I Am.
yes, you, I am. Yes, yes,
It's a very catchy phrase.
yes. You, we mirror ourselves. So you, I am you, and we can't help others if we don't help ourselves first.
Yeah.
Like when on a plane, they say, "Please wear your mask
Yes,
first."
yes, and then help the other, right? You have to think about this, about your health. You have get better your first, and then you can help the rest of the world to be better. Also, if the world want to be safe.
Exactly. If they
Okay.
want to be safe. Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's, thank you for today. See you next time. We're going to post every Saturday the one
Yes.
episode. So we hope to hear from you. In some moment, we are going to do live in YouTube. So keep in touch with us.
Yes. Stay
Okay.
tuned.
Okay. Stay tuned.
See you guys. See you.
Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.